Well, hello, folks. And I can't quite see you right now, but we'll figure it out and we're going to keep going with the show. But hello to everybody who might be there at this moment. And it looks like I'm getting an Instagram message from somebody who's trying to tell me something. So if you can type it, that would be awesome. And I'll figure it out. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue with the show. And let's just look at some stuff. Ernie, you're a busy dude when it comes to the internet, social media, YouTube. And so you've got a bunch of different things going on. I was introduced to the world of the Fallen Fat through the Toy Migos. I love the Toy Migos. I've been watching for years. I've seen you sing about cake. I've seen, oh, hey, what's going on, man? I've seen all sorts of goodness from Ernie and the crew. And then I've also kind of seen you do hop on Kevin's channel doing the Boba Squadron. I've seen you do the Fallen Fett shows, which you're now doing with Marcus, which is awesome. And you're going to start doing some stuff with Cheney. So can you actually break that down? Because you're everywhere. And then let's take a look as you talk at some of the stuff that you got going on.
Yeah, man. What's up, guys? I am Ernie the Fallen Fett, and yeah, I've been doing this for quite a while. Background probably because I used to be a DJ back in the day and MC for the parties. I'm old, man, so I grew up in the old house party days of LA and the IE and the desert,
Inland Empire, baby.
Yeah, and it was a lot, and I MC'd a lot, and I love to talk, and I got that. My pops did radio stuff that people knew about, so it just kind of transitioned into me doing stuff and DJing, and now my dad does. Yeah, my dad was a character on one of our local radio stations, 99.1 KGGI, and he was Ernie the High Desert Homie with the old school show from Bo Corona to ODM from Lighter Shade of Brown. It was on before Art LeBeau. He did a Christmas song with Cheney. Yeah.
Nice. That was an Art LeBeau kid. Oh, no kidding. I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, that was my pops. And Cheney loves to play his 12 Days of Christmas every year, which was a staple that kind of blew him up. And then I got into DJing, as a teenager with the big house scene and everything like that. Then, life happens and it progresses into my little brother taking it over. But now my brother is actually made a career out of it, and that's what he does. Oh, is that why?
Yeah, and I don't know how that was. Sorry, but keep going and I'll sort it out. Okay, so that's cool. So this is kind of in the blood. This is
and like I said, down to my brother moved away from here and went to Arizona, and he's DJ MYK. He does restaurants down there, radio shows, internet radio shows, and he's made a career out of it. Which is crazy because like the way that we grew up, like I said, I'm old, I'm 49 years old. And, to hear that you would make that as a career, or like how people do video games now and stuff, that was something that was laughed at us as a kid, or even collecting was, I've been collecting since I was a kid, but there was something that you didn't share as people now share it today.
It was a different time period, man. I'm old. I was born in 76. And so there was a little bit of, I guess it was a little bit of shame, but also just there were less people interested in it. So it was both things. So it's not like you go to school and there'd be like everybody talking about this thing, or you become adults and it was just less of a thing. So, but there definitely was a little bit of shame. You remember the 21 Jump Street live action movie?
So when you went back and everything was flipped?
Right.
Yeah, I always laugh at that because I'm like, it's so true. That is the time of now, It's okay to be a nerd in there. I was born at the wrong time because I was all nerded out during there and, had to fall back on the DJing and was still, had a great group of friends and we had a party crew and everything like that. And then, it passed on to my brother and then life happens and you start a family and everything. Then other things happen. And then I get a call from Cheney one day that he wants to do a toy show with me. And Cheney was just my brother's friend. He's 5 years younger than me. I used to sell him toys out of the trunk of my car. I used to sling toys. So I've been in this game for a long time. And it wasn't scalping, but it was to make sure everybody had theirs. Because there was even scalping back then.
Oh yeah.
other collectors trying to hide. Like, we didn't have the internet or anything. Like, you waited for Toy Fair to come out or Lee's or anything, to try and get the news on what was going on in the world of collecting. So he wanted to start a toy show to start talking about it. And we actually then started streaming, like podcasting on different stuff. And then we got hooked up on different, a guy had a vision of El Sinestro of running the Raw Live Unedited Network with a group of shows and everything. And that was quite a while. We had a toy show, and then I started talking about, TV shows and movies and conspiracy stuff. And man, I was on like 7 days a week back then. And then, stuff happens and you pull back a little bit from being on every show. And then, Toy Migos started blowing up more, and, the world came to a halt with COVID. And we wanted to do something. And Cheney had this idea to go on every day, even though I was still working. And we did. And we got a lot of people onto us from that COVID situation of us doing the quickie minis every day. And I'm totally different. I will talk about my life and what's going on, as you have said. And so a lot of people do know me and what's going on and different circumstances in my life, or what's the newest subject or topic, what's wrong with Ernie this week, and that's just basically how it went. And they really pushed for me to start my own channel. And then I did with the Fallen Fett Chronicles. But I mean, from there, in our group, you get a lot of people who do the same thing, but yet we have a great group of YouTubers and podcasters out there. And I was invited to do a show with Kevin when it was Kevin, Yoko, and Paulie, and that was great. And then we were breaking down Star Wars shows, and that's what then turned into the Boba Squadron. We did that for a while.
Can I pause you on that one real quick? Because normally that was at a time whenever there was like a new show or a new movie. I know like there were some of the. So are we going to be maybe seeing some of that around the mall, with Mall coming up in like a couple weeks? Or have you guys talked about it?
Know.
Not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, it hasn't been discussed or anything.
Okay. Just wondered.
People go into new ventures and everything. If they want to, I would love to. And to bring it back, everybody's busy with different schedules and everything like that, Cool. And from that stopping, I had my show going on, and Yoko sat in for like over a year as a co-host. And then it just progressed on. She had a Japan visit to go through, and she was busy with her life and doing content for her show and like that. And then we start, she had to step away for a little bit. And then Tommy had come in, and Dario was on more. Tommy was doing a trivia, but then, the invite's always out there to anybody who wants to hop in and come say hello. I send a wide array of invites out to whoever wants to come on and talk.
Yeah. That's a fun show. I will
Tommy
say,
had stuff come up too, and now Marcus has stepped in that he wanted to come on and be on the show as well too, and he was a great moderator. He's been there from the beginning of lots and lots of old shows and everything, so he knows a lot of my background. I love having him on. Dario's always been a staple in every show, so Dario will hop on when he can. And then
let me pause. Can I pause you there real quick? Because so the Fallen Fett Chronicles are awesome. It's just a cool kick it, and that's how my brain sometimes goes. I love toys, and I have my steady diet of toy shows, including this one. And it's like Tuesday, Thursday, that's Toy Migos, right? Unparalleled Universe. And now, potentially, it sounds like Fallen Fett might be like that in between slot, both after Chat Migos, which is cool. But I've got the toy stuff going on. So every now and then, I like the Disney thing too, like you do. And so I'll be watching, I was just watching something about the Disney Adventure, their sort of first cruise ship voyage of the new ship. I'll watch Disney that kind of stuff.
Are the best.
Yeah. So I'll watch all that stuff, but yours is great because it's like, I never know what's going to be the topic, and it's always a good time. It's just, and then it's really fun.
Neither do I.
Yeah. I know. Sometimes it's
and
like
Marcus always does that. No, I never script anything. I am.
And poor Marcus, I will say, I could tell the boy's stressed.
He does. And I always try and tell him, Marcus, we do not need to stress about this. It's just a show. It is okay. Because so many people always believe, or I guess some other shows, script their stuff or, have an agenda. And no, not me. I'm always 100% at the top of my dome. I was here 2 minutes before we came on. There is nothing like I sit in the chair and I go, which is the very hard part of doing my own show because I have to be more involved, or content wise. So you're right. There's, I have two big loves out there, and that's Star Wars and Disney. And now they're combined into one, right? So there was also a Star Wars show that is ran by Moocher, which is the Sarlacc Digest. And that's on every Wednesday night at 8 as well, too. And that's started from us, lining up, waiting for movies all the time, the old school way. You didn't pick your seats or anything. If there was a brand new Star Wars movie coming out, man, you were there at 6 a.m. with your chair waiting for your spot so that nobody else could take it. And that's how I met some of these guys, and it was talked about. And then this show started, and that's been running for quite a long time too. And then I have, just thrown into my show as well too, is my how we do Disney stuff, with all my Disney is not even my second home. Disney is like my first home. So I'm always at Disneyland or the parks, and we do lots of stuff at Disney that I like to show you guys through mostly my Instagram stories. It's evolved into my kids hopping on there with me and everything. There's the girls.
I love it.
Yeah, and
it's a family affair.
I do have a lot more coming. I know everybody pushes me for that. I've had help with the show recently with a lot of people sending super chats and like that. As you know, it takes a lot to run this stuff. There's you have to pay for StreamYard. You need camera stuff and everything. And I have a really great group of friends, and they help out and they send super chats and everything. So we put that back into getting cameras and everything so that now we can do reviews and toy hunts and ride-alongs in the park. And a lot more is coming on the way for the channel very, very soon.
It's cool. It's great. I love good Disney content, man. I watch, what was I just watching? So Fresh Bake, I started, and I don't watch them as much as I used to. Random Land, I liked. The Ordinary Adventures folks, Provost Park, I watch your stuff. So it's fun, man. It's fun to just sort of I grew up in Downey. You're familiar. Yeah. So I grew up.
My cousins were from Downey. So yes.
Okay. So I grew up in were your cousins Catholic? I'm curious. Do they go to church?
Yep. So am I.
St. Raymond's by any chance? Do you know if they were St. Raymond's?
Oh, I don't know what church they went to.
Oh, okay. Only because
one of the big white ones, but
because the world is small. Because the world is small. So it's we're anyways. So going to Disneyland was something that we did quite often, especially, family comes in town, whether they're from the Philippines or other parts, and they're like, hey, let's go. But I was born in 76. So I remember going as 79 is the first time I kind of remember as a 3-year-old. And then just throughout growing up there. Then I went to school in Santa Barbara for a bit. By that time, I had a little bit more money. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy a annual pass, which is something I know you're familiar with. And then it was just game changer, right? Oh, I'll go for 20 minutes. I'll go for 30 minutes. Hey, when I'm back in town on a break from school. And then I moved up here. And so we go pretty much every year, thanks to my brother, who can hook us up with tickets. But it's great. Something I love going, man. I love going. How often are you going now that the passes are back and stuff?
I mean, it's at the very least twice a month. The very least. Okay. Because that's every other weekend. Yeah. Basically is what you can say. I mean, but that's at the very least. But other than that, that's what I love is there's nothing else that I do. I'm not into sports or a foodie type of guy for a restaurant. I'd rather have a bad day at work and come home, unfortunately have to grab a stupid reservation, hopefully, and then head down to the park and just have some ice cream on Main Street.
Nice.
My thing is Disney to walk around.
And so when you're doing that, it's what's the I think you're a little bit further away, but how long, what's the shortest you've done? just to hop in and leave?
Oh, the shortest?
Yeah,
Like
the
under
shortest
an
you ever
hour?
just to visit, really, just to go and check out. Yeah, man, I
Yeah.
love that. Isn't
Yeah.
it's so cool to go there kind of stress-free, and obviously it's a privilege to be able to be so close and have the
I've
pass
had a
and
pass
everything.
since I was 15.
Oh, love it.
So my favorite would actually be when the ex and I would drop off the kids at school, go straight down, leave, and pull right back in to pick them up. And we had a day at Disney, and they never knew. You know what I'm saying? Those are great old family memories. Until one day, and dude, I am not lying whatsoever. My daughter gets in the car, gives you the hug high and everything. Hi, mama, how was school? And she literally says, "Why do you smell like Disneyland?" And I'm just all,
what was that? What? Was that the popcorn? The
yeah,
churros,
exactly. There was
like,
something, but she literally
bromine?
hugged me. Yeah, and
like
said,
the bromine in the Pirates
like
of the Caribbean or
Disneyland.
something.
And I just froze. I was just like, "Oh, what? What do you mean? Why would we go to Disneyland?" Oh my God, it was just everything.
It's I sweat it through my pores, honey. It's cool. That's
exactly.
It's in the skin.
So I love
cool.
it so much. Like I said, life moves on and everything. And then that's where I met my current wife, as everybody knows, as Evil Diva. We met at Disneyland. So,
was she already making handcrafted ear stuff then?
No, that came after from us going so much.
Love
so she has her Castle and Couture, which she does, and we do a lot of those shows.
Dope.
And from us going so much, the regular Disney ears hurt her so much, she started making her own. And then that turned into a new adventure. So yeah, if you want custom ears or different ears for your visit, go look at Castle and Couture. And then from doing all of those street shows that we do in live events for her, I met these cool guys, the Shirt Farm.
Those are cool. Yeah.
And now all my wardrobe is the Shirt Farm, which is like Disney inspired merch of stuff that I love, from, you know, Disney Star Wars crossovers to maybe just a cool Aladdin shirt and everything. But yeah, man, now I was talking with them, and you know, I have a code over there that you can use for discount and everything. And see, there's your typical day.
Yeah.
You walk in, it's been a long day, you go grab a yellow cup, a chimichanga, and that's all you need, man. And you people watch all day. I mean, there's days we don't even go, just, you know, no rides. You don't have to, you know.
I miss being able to kind of do that. You know, obviously it's a little bit more of a trek for us now that we're up here, but we do annual at least once or twice, either like a couple of days in the winter or summer. So I'm trying to do some winters now, because man, summers, you know, see our earlier conversation about that heat.
Winter is my favorite time, man. If I can show up in a hoodie, I'm happy.
Right on. You never did the Disney gang thing? You never had nobody ever jumped you into their Disney gang?
Now, I saw it, and I always thought it was funny, you know, good for them.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite hidden Mickeys.
Yeah.
Do you know this one? The R2 one?
From Star Tours. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, this is one of my most favorite ones, because you have to time it. It only happens every so often. Yeah.
We got to talk Disney more at some point, because you and I, it sounds like, you know, I mean, we remember Disney and seen it change over time. And so many, like when I see that this is cool, and I think fondly of the People Mover, especially around that Star. That used to be one of my favorite parts when you kind of go through the store and
stupid rocket rods.
Oh man. Anyways. So that's cool. I love that. And then you've got that. And of course, we know this is the ish. This is where I first, you know, got to know Ernie, and as a viewer and as a fan, as a someone who's just been able to watch you do your thing on Toy Migos.
When did you jump into Toy Migos?
Oh man.
You remember?
Had to have been. I don't remember when, but I do remember 2 years ago, because I was just going through and uploading old photos. I saw the screen grabs that I took of me winning a giveaway. It was when Dario wasn't doing well. I think he was in an accident, got sick.
Yes.
And so I had won the giveaway from sort of like, you know, trying to help him out.
Yeah.
But it was before then. So, but I just remember, that because I was in the, you know, I was watching, I had it on my phone while I was like brushing my teeth. And then my name came. I was like, my wife was there, like, check it out, I just won. And it was funny. It was a funny moment. I gotta go back and show you that. That's just one thing that stands out from like a while back. But I've been watching. I remember.
That's the love of the family of Toy Migos, man. You know, we almost lost Dario, and the community came out together and did what we can for his medical bills and everything. And that's why I love this group and everything that we're a part of. So it's a big group. There's Cheney, myself, Dario, Adam playing with myself, Chamba, Lago. Mario hops in every once in a while too in there, and then Augie, and then between two Sentinels, we got Jay Shot and Matt over there too. So it's a cool thing that's going on.
And shout out to, I meant to say this earlier, to Chamba and all his art, because he also did all your icons and stuff for your channel. So the
Chamba does everything for me.
Stuff is amazing,
and I love it. Yeah. Chamba is the absolute best, man.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, I'm going to ask you a favor. I can't have you on here, and I'm sorry to put you to work, but we started the show. I figured out what was wrong. Apparently, the stream was for some reason set to kids only. So we kicked out the kids, and now we can see the folks. Now they can chat. So I'm going to ask
what it is. You, okay, cool.
Could you do the roll call of who's in the chat? I will. I'll go through in order of the new people and bring them up as you go through. I'll try my best, because I love when Ernie. This is one of my favorite parts of Toy Amigos is when he does the roll call. Man, is that cool? Can I put you to work?
Want me to go through the comments, or
you don't
mind?
Want to?
Okay, I will.
No, you will.
Right, so what Brick is talking about, man, is over there at Toy Migos. I love to announce the chat Migos over there and what's going on. Who's there? I want you guys to subscribe, all of that. So we're going to do the same thing here. This is a Briksomething show with Sunday's news that we got going on. I am your guest, the Fallen Fett. I'm going to do this as a favor to my boy over there. So do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already, hit the bell for notifications and hit all, so you don't miss when he's on or any of his special shows or reviews or anything that he's going on. But you can find him over here at Sunday. Go ahead and why don't you make a story right now in your Instagram and let him know that the Fallen Fett is live over here with Briksomething. Come on over, bring a friend and check it out. Then over there where it says say something, say hello, hola, what's up? We're going to shout you out for the homie and just let him know who's here, who's present, and who's watching. So let's get right into it. We got Mr. Lee is here. Marcus is in the house. Winger Lose, what's up, man? We got Retro Toy Princess. Hi, how are you? Mr. Ryan Clark, what's up? Larry's Geeky World is also here. Who else do we got? Nolan's in the house. What's up? Wrestling Hound. Woo! Woo! Man, the Wrestling Hound has a picture today that he posted in my chat. I was so jealous, man. He got a picture with La Primera. I am jealous. Woo! That's a good one.
It was at this point that I kicked the kids out and figured out how to do it. So welcome back. Sorry about the confusion, folks, with the chat. So keep going.
We're good from there? All right. Yeah. So, Mr. Ryan Clark, Nolan is here. We got Highly Articulated also. Let's see. Marcus. Rick Jones is in the house. What's up, Rick? Thanks for being here. Retro Toy Princess. RMD. What's up, brother? How are you? Star Wars toy hunting. I hope you found a lot, man, because there's a lot out there right now to be found on the shelves. And we're going to get into that as well, too. Larry's Geeky World, Nolan, RMD, Marcus, Jurassic Jesse is here. Hey. Rawr. What's up, Jesser? How are you? Thanks for being here, man. E. McNeil's in the house as well. What's up? We got Rhea Black, 1938. Yeah. What's up? Welcome to the show. Larry, Ray, Gatey's Toys.
Sorry.
Welcome.
Gatey's Toys, what's up?
Highly Articulated. Recon Rage, how are you? Rick. Cowabunga Dude, what's up? John is also in the house. Thank you for being here. Solo Sinner, how are you?
Oh, Solo Sinner. Yay, what's up, Solo?
Down. There you go. Castle and Couture, what's up, Evil Diva?
Oh, no. Hey,
how are you? We gave you a shout out. Yeah. Josh Brown Toys, who already shared. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. And that's everybody here tonight.
Love it. Damn, professional. I love it. Hold on. That deserves it. This is the best I can do. I don't have any. Yeah. I don't got songs or anything. There it is. Thank you, Ernie.
You
You're
got
the
to give him the
best.
old school DJ air horn.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That now I understand where this comes from. It's in the blood. It was passed on from one generation to another. This radio personality right here turned to YouTube personality. I love it, man. And all of that stuff. Like, if again, go watch the Fallen Fett Chronicles because it goes to fun places. One of my favorite things is it brings me back to my AM radio, UFO / conspiracy things that I catch every now and then. Of course, you mentioned Art LeBeau. K-Day back in the day, but the UFO stuff that you do, like even you introduced me to some conspiracies that are well out of my radar. So
man, I have them all.
Appreciate it. Ghost stories.
There might even be. Oh yeah, when it comes to October, man, it's Spooky Fett because I'm highly. I have ghosts in here. Either you believe it or you don't. It don't matter. But why don't you come hear the stories? We might actually have a show tomorrow for conspiracy stuff going down. So just stay tuned to the channels and like that. So yeah, it might be Monday Conspiracy, Tuesday Fallen Fett Chronicles, Wednesday Starlight Digest, and Thursday They're Not Dolls. So
love it. Okay. All right. So the other thing about Ernie is that, you know, he's a toy collector. You can look behind him, man. Toy collector probably isn't the right word. You were like, this is years, decades of collecting. And I know some of them are in boxes and piles, and I'm not here to shame you at all because right next to me, man, are some boxes of things that haven't been opened. Like last night I was on a stream with some buddies and I was like, what is this box? And I opened it up with some dope soft goods, but in it was like I was like, when did I order these?
Yeah.
And I held up the eBay receipt and it was December 27th.
Dang.
So that's not the oldest thing I have. So you're not alone in that. You're not alone in that. But where you are, where I'm not quite as experienced as you is in the Ross shopping.
Oh,
because
man. Rosscon, brother. And now everybody believes in it, dude. Like Rosscon has been a thing for years, such a long time. But now because of social media, it's actually blown up. So if you guys are not familiar, here it is. That's my favorite place in the world right there. Ross is a discount store. And I mean, we're talking like your Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, and then DD's. That's basically like the order that everything goes. Yeah, for reals, man.
Yeah.
Our Bell's a classic. So Ross is just a discount store, but you know, for years now they've been getting, you know, Marvel Legends and stuff. But I would say it really has taken off for the last year, bro, because everybody hunts everything around Christmas time, and this is when they push all the toys. So it's turned into a saying called Rosscon. There's Facebook pages out there. There's Instagram. Arizona Toy Hunters Guild is like the major one who will give you all of the latest news and what he finds and like that. Dude has been called a liar so many times, and that's my boy because I'm right there at Ross with them, so I know it's true. And I'm always like, why would we lie about this? We're just trying to tell you, like,
well, see, here's
here's
the thing. So the reason that I don't engage in Rosscon, in addition to sort of like, you know, wanting to try to pretend that I have some kind of discipline and some selectiveness, but I will tell you the main reason I don't partake in Rosscon is because our Rosses are horrible up here. There's just nothing. In the holidays, like you said, they'll put out the tables and there's some stuff, but it's kind of like the stuff that I'm seeing you all pick up. And you mentioned Arizona Toy Hunters Guild. Like Arizona's a special place, and that's the thing that you refer to it as Narnia, but it's
that is Narnia, bro, because they will get stuff that I still don't even see.
Yes.
And I'm like, how is that possible? It is definitely the land of Narnia.
And I understand it now after sort of asking around. But apparently like there's a shipping hub, right? That sort of comes around there. And that tends to be one of the closest place to that hub. And so a lot of the stores near there get things a little bit earlier and tend to have a better selection, not just for Ross stuff, but for Target. There's also a shipping hub out there. So their Targets and Walmarts tend to get pretty stocked up on.
There is a thing about Ross. I mean, you do got to get out there and hunt. You got to be there at open.
Old school.
Or
old school.
You got, and this is how I've always gotten stuff.
Yeah.
They got to know, you got to be nice and talk to them, and then you got to know their schedule, because sometimes they could get a truck in the next day. It's actually coming in the afternoon, and sometimes you got to hit that Ross 2 or 3 times a day. You actually do, in order to find this stuff. Or you get a really good network of dudes and friends, and you get everybody's list like I do, and then we go and we find for each other. You know, and that's basically maybe the 100% way, if you're not waking up and going 5 times a day, is to get that hub of a special group in different places so that you guys could score everything. And I mean, if you're wondering, well, why Ross? What do they have? If you collect it, Ross has it. Basically at this point. I mean, so some hot ticket items right now is like G.I. Joe Classified, the Stinger. That's been everywhere right now. Yes, here you go.
So this was, I want to say this. So tell us what kind of RossCon deals, because originally this was $110.
Correct, and it's $29.99. It's $30. Yeah.
It's
some
like
it's actually
basement deals.
Yeah, it's been some places it's at 40 at $39.99. That's another thing that has happened recently. This year is some crazy tags going on. We don't know why one person found it at 30 and one person found it at 40. There will also be, though, where some figures are like at $40 as well for one figure. Some's absolutely wrong. So you just got to wait till it gets fixed. But this is one of the hot ticket items. So it is true. I mean, to Marvel Legends, the whole retro wave of Spidey with Agent Venom, with Kane, this whole wave is at Ross for $5.99 on the retro cards.
Originally $24.99.
Correct.
At RossCon, $5.99.
$5.99, and you got to get there to find it. So this wave had 6 different figures. So there you go for your Marvel Legends. Along with the Stinger, you also have the retro cards that are showing up for Classified as well. From Cobra to Wetsuit. I mean, if you were to go and look at the Cobra Commander wave on the back, it's been there, and then go lower from there, and they keep replenishing it. They also are getting the deluxe ones, where it was like the Navy and the Air Force and the Army. Did you see those ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have those. Those are at $16.99. So there's your G.I. Joe. There's your Marvel Legends. Super 7 is just wild with all of their deluxe figures. They have a ton of reaction figures. So right now, what is heavy right now is Transformers reaction figures, Sesame Street reaction figures, and their own brand of the monsters that they do. That is out there.
The worst?
Yes,
characters?
The worst. Yes. Yeah.
Those.
There you go. So you got the Sesame Street is out. Like I said, Transformers.
They just show up randomly, though, right? Just whatever
every
pops
store.
Up.
Yes, whatever.
And how much are they going for when they're at Ross?
Anywhere from $4.99 to $9.99. It just depends. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually $25 is what they're retail at, and
then Super 7 with their Ultimate line as well too, from Silverhawks to Beastie Boys. Who else is there right now? Dungeons and Dragons, those $35 deluxe figures.
Oh yeah.
Are there for anywhere from $14.99 to $19.99.
I mean, those weren't 35, weren't they? 55, right?
Some were. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, I mean, they start.
The Thundercats are there.
$50. Yeah. Oh my god.
Speaking of Thundercats, for Masters of the Universe collectors, everything from the cartoon wave to you have the Masterverse also shows up. Masterverse shows up for $9.99. But right now they have this whole wave of the crossover of He-Man's Thundercats, and those are $7.99. And this to me was still fairly new and a great crossover. It was your way to kind of get some Thundercats, in a different form, a different way made. It's a great buy, so if you can find them, I would definitely pick it up.
So
but they have the whole wave showing up.
So that's a bunch of like, those are your major domestics right there. Mattel, Motu, Hasbro Classifieds, and Hasbro Marvel Legends, and then even a sort of
Super
smaller
7.
company, Super 7. But then imports. Surely, Ernie.
So this is the funny part. This is where I get to smile and laugh in everybody's face, because it's always the Ernie, why do you do Ross? Oh my God, Ross is crazy. Why would you waste your time? Why'd you even buy that toy? It's not like they'll ever get Figuarts. Well, guess what, guys? As of 2 weeks ago, SH Figuarts has started dropping in Ross for $19.99. There is 3 different Bleach figures, just like this one that you're showing right now. There is 2 other ones. There is also my Spy Family is showing up with Anya with the 2 different versions. All of those are also $19.99.
Find me one of those, Ernie. Find me one of those.
Oh, you got it. You got it. And there's also some other Figuarts that are showing up, from Godzilla, Bandai kits to Ultraman as well, which go from anywhere around 65 and up. They're also showing up. So, I mean, now's the time. I just saw Jesser scored some today. Congratulations, Jesse.
Oh, man.
And this is now where I'm getting messages from everybody who laughed before, and it's like, Ernie, can you find me those Figuarts? And I'm like, delete, because I had you on the list if you laughed at me for my Ross finds.
He's not bitter, but he's bitter.
So yeah, man, I hit it up as much as I can. I love it. Like I said, get in with you a good group of people that you trust and know, and just help each other out. So then this way you can find everything.
I love it, man. Thank you for the RossCon Spring 2026.
I still owe you a figure, and I know this. And this is the only figure that keeps getting away from me, man.
No, you don't need to get me that one. And I'm like,
it's Brick, it's your fault. No, I want it too. And
but it was
Marvel
when you were
Legends, Son of Hulk.
Yeah, when you were bringing him up, and like, what was like, because I know it was like I think it was like a Boba. I don't know, it wasn't a Boba Squadron, but it was one of the.
It was one of my shows.
Yeah, it was one of your shows, but he did where he did the Tommy did trivia game.
So trivia, yes,
yeah, and I won, and
no,
whatever.
You're still on the list, bro.
Whatever.
But I asked you, and I've been hunting, and I still don't have that one either. So the Scar is a $49.99 figure. Yep. He is $7.99 at DD's, and I want him every day. Oh, one for me, one for you, brother.
Or you can get an Anya. If there's anything on those, like,
if
honestly,
you want an Anya, I will find an Anya.
She's super cute, man. And you haven't watched Spy Family yet, huh?
No,
you're on
no.
You're on a Naruto, and
barely. Yes.
And then what was the other one that you started jumping in on?
But I mean, I started with Dan to Dan.
That's
right. I'm now on to Naruto, and what else? There's a couple other ones that I watch as well too, that the guys have begged me forever to watch, and I've actually started that anime journey. So One Piece not yet, but the One Piece live, so.
You are watching the One Piece live?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, when we're done, I'm going to jump into the second season after this.
Beautiful.
I already have that scheduled.
Have fun, man. That's I took, I think it was about 3 years. So actually, after the live action premiered, my kids seemed interested, so I was like, hey, let's go ahead and watch it. I'd watch, I think, like the first and a half season in the late 90s, and then lost track of it. I was in college, and like, you couldn't track those things down in the way that it's so easy now. So after all that, the first live action, I was like, hey, my kid's interested. I started watching, did a One Piece rewatch for the first season, and then finished all the way through. Took me about 3 years. My kid dropped off really early, but he's like the kid who was like looking on the internet and like acting like not acting. He was like, well, wait till you see this. I was like, what do you wait till you see this? You haven't seen this, but he'd seen like clips or whatever. But anyway, it's the live action's super fun, man. I love it, and I'm glad that you're starting to dip your toes and checking out some anime, because it's pretty cool. It's cool. Yeah. All right, let me say hello to some of the folks who were checking in while we were doing RossCon Spring 2026 update. I appreciate that. And Brian Crock, what's going on, man? Good to see you, Brian. Let's see. And then we mentioned this because yeah, when you do your UFO stuff, I remember that. And oh man,
he had some
AM
crazy
radio.
stuff, man. And not crazy, it was all real.
Me and the drummer of my old band on tour, that was our thing whenever we're like driving across doing US tours, hoping that we'll see something. And just reminiscing, because he and I were both like UFO nerds, X-Files nerds. Stormfire Blizzard, good to see you. It is not Wednesday. It is a Sunday. And thanks to Ernie for streaming this also over on his channel, because I apparently had set it to kids, which is weird.
Yeah, that's why we could get everybody here.
Yeah, I'm just sick of the kids. Jurassic Jesse, what's going on? He said he found a couple of SH figure arts, like you mentioned earlier, and then he also, where he's at in Nevada, 96% of the time Ross has nothing. I like barely ever go. I've kind of given up. So it is what it is. Larry's Geeky World is in the exact same spot. A lot of these folks on the East Coast, though, I'm just like, you've got Ollies. Like, chill out. You're fine.
Yeah, see, I wish we had Ollies, man.
Yeah.
Those Ollie pictures tempt me.
Ryan Clark. We don't have Ross in Canada, but we have Winners and Marshalls, which is similar. Unfortunately, they don't get good stuff anymore.
Right.
It's because Ernie and Arizona, Toyota Field are grabbing everything.
Make sure it all goes to Ross. Yeah.
They're not making it up to Canada anymore. Nolan's wanting that up there too, up in the Saskatchewan area. Let's see what other folks are saying. When you're talking about SH, it's the figure arts. Yeah.
The figure arts, man.
Is that right? Is that it?
Yeah,
figure arts. Hey, what's up, Marcus? The anime Ultraman Jack Armor, as Hound would say, peak. That's a big old, the gigantic one. Love that one. Mm-hmm. The bitter fat. Yeah, dude. Relax, Ernie.
Don't make fun of me, man. You'll be on my list.
Rowdy Riles, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Sped one McDysentery one time. He farted an entire plum. He just wanted to make sure everyone knew that.
Dang.
I am Filipino, so I have a lot of Filipino friends who have nurse mothers, and now I have a lot of friends, my peers, who have been nurses. And let me tell you, I've heard plenty of fun stories about plums and other fruits and other great explanations. My favorites are the stories of how people try and explain why it is that they're showing up to the ER.
Why are you here in the ER with this symptoms?
And need assistance getting things out of their bodies. Those are the best stories. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you. RMD is saying Bay Area, right? RMD, I'm remembering East Bay, I think.
Yes.
Found the White Box Black Series edition and new Mall Shadow TV C-Wave today.
So good hunt today. That's awesome.
Yeah. And Figgy Arts. Figgy Arts feels like the equivalent of how people say you and your TikToks or Tweeter or Instagrams. Oh, the Instagrams.
Yes, Marcus.
All right, man. So as I was saying, let's move away from the Ross. The other thing that I know you're super into is Star Wars. And there's been some fun Star Wars stuff today. And I want to start off with toys. Did you see those things that I sent you and have probably made it through your stream before me? This?
Yeah. This is the new one from Jada Toys.
Dude,
I want some remote control stuff.
Yes. So these are RC by Jada Toys for the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie. But man, the commercials are what's up. This reminds me of the old Kenner commercials back in the day.
Yeah.
With a little update. But how did you know? I mean, I know you've got a relationship with the Jada folks.
No. And it really upsets me that you did not tell me about the Ernie. We got some stuff. Here's my best June. Ernie, we got Star Wars. Did you know that? What? Nothing. So see, maybe you did tell me and I didn't hear him, but no, I didn't know. I was pleasantly surprised by the same commercial. I felt the same way of the old Kenner days on how, yes, all of a sudden that friend has a backyard that looks exactly like Star Wars and the hills and everything set up. But this is dope. A little remote control walker. I want one of those. There's a second one too of an AT-AT, right?
Yep. It's like an AT-AT from that time period, post Empire before. This is like the Imperial remnant, basically. And so it's got like a squished head, but like, man, I had that old Kenner one. My brother and I had that one, and like I would have killed to have this thing be able to move. Like it's walking and you're controlling. Look at that.
Right. Look at, and then you can't lose the remote control.
Yeah, because it's got storage.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
exactly.
So this
it's
is
not
cool,
that big,
man.
but it's still a great. You know, these are great desk pieces.
Yeah, and then you just walk it around and while you're working.
Yeah.
But that's really cool because, you know, Jada does like, you know, I first heard of Jada from the toy stuff. And of course, since then, particularly since June's work on action figures with the Street Fighter stuff, it's got this whole other sort of exposure and to folks, collectors and stuff. But this is kind of a cool swerve. I've never looked at any of their RC stuff. Do you even know that? Do they do a lot of their cars as RCs? It's not something I'm familiar
they
with.
have little other stuff and everything. I mean, basically, was their car line, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know. Do they do?
And
I don't know if they have done RC stuff.
They have
before,
a couple.
This is new. Oh, they do. Okay,
they have a couple. Yeah,
cool.
This I feel is great right now. The marketing that they're doing is awesome because it's right before the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. These will be on the shelves for the kids to have. There's nothing better than to have your toy while you see the movie, right? And to have it walk instead of just be there, you know, I think this is a job well done. I mean, yeah, I agree with Nolan. They've just been killing it on everything because, you know, I too love the Fast and the Furious, and even the Jada cars have been at RossCon. So I've gotten a lot of those as well too for Fast and the Furious. Oh yeah,
I had no idea.
Rick
Jones is a Star Wars. What's up, Rick? Yeah, Rick has been able. Oh, look at that.
Those are the Jada ones, replicas. I got a grip.
What's up, Tony's Figs?
What's up?
Yeah, no, these are great. This is
been in the game a long time.
My bad. Hold on. Let me correct this. Sorry, June. I don't want to mislead people. This is not a part of RossCon, so let me get rid of that graphic. These are going to be fresh. I think this week. It's funny because the original post actually had a date on it, and it did. Like that.
I saw that as well too, and for an order.
Yeah.
So maybe that will be coming soon. I hope.
It used to be up here, and it said like March 20. Like it was real soon, but apparently the graphic's gone, which probably means that they changed the date. But this is coming soon, and I think it's really cool that they were able to announce it. I think these are really, really cool toys, and I'm glad to see it because this is, you know, I grew up with Star Wars. This was a huge part of like the introduction to toys in general. And I mean, really, they created the sort of like action figure juggernaut that exists in the United States today.
Oh, of course.
And so now to have these toys for the new show, like it's cool. Like it's kind of a little bit feeling like back to basics for Star Wars. And I'm looking forward to sort of seeing how this era pans out. We'll see. I know you're totally following all this Star Wars stuff. How are you feeling about, let's see, the upcoming, since we're in Mandalorian and Grogu, like you said, this ties into the upcoming movie. I think this is what, April or something? No, sorry. Is it? Yeah, it's April. No, May 22nd. Sorry.
April is going to be Maul.
It is Mom. It starts streaming and ends on May 4th. And then in a couple weeks later, we're going to get finally another Star Wars movie. What are you thinking? How are you feeling about this as a longtime Star Wars fan?
Oh, I've been in love with the Disney Plus stuff. So when Mando came out, yes, of course, I'm a huge Fett fan, hence the name. You know, the rumors are always saying that this was supposed to be Boba Fett, but then they changed it to this, and I still love it. You know, I'm a fan of Star Wars. I think they did a great job. I mean, Baby Yoda blew everything out of the water when that happened, you know, and it's been a great series. It's great storytelling, the way they tie everything together, and then everything that we've gotten from it, you know, from the Book of Boba Fett. Yes, I know about that, but I do still love it. I will still go to my grave and say the Book of Boba Fett ties a lot of the stories together. So it has to be a staple in there. To Ahsoka, which basically is just, you know, our next season of Rebels. Rebels was such a great show. If you haven't ever caught that because you're like, why it's an animation, then you're really missing out, because Rebels was great storytelling, and then to see it go into Ahsoka, this is great. So to actually have a movie come from all these seasons, I'm all for it.
It's cool, man. I'm excited to have Star Wars back in the big screen again. Yes, like you, I'm pretty open to whatever they give me, man. I've been into Star Wars since I was a kid. I'm in love with the world, period. And so give me more stories in that world. I get it that some of the stories don't quite hold up or people aren't as into them, because I'm not. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Star Wars, but there have been, as early as the prequels, I wasn't the person who was like, yeah, these are amazing. But it was Star Wars, and it was still interesting to me to find out what Luke and Leia's parents were like, how they met, to hear how the galaxy descended into becoming a fascist empire. So all of that stuff was still interesting. I still sort of found the pieces that, like, okay, this is cool. I like it enough to be like, okay, this is Star Wars. Same goes for all this. I liked the sequel trilogy. I'm one of those folks who really, really enjoyed the sequel trilogy. I loved Solo, Rogue One, of course. So, like, I'm into it all, and I'll digest it all and sort of see how it all fits. I'm excited to see this. I'm hoping that we get a little bit of insight into, like, yeah, what is it like post the fall of the Empire, with like the Imperial remnants trying to do something, right? So we know from the show that they're making moves. Some of them are trying to do some kind of weird cloning projects. Some of them are working
at some point we got to tie into, 7, 8, and 9. This is basically where these lead up to, and
laying the groundwork for the New Republic.
Correct. And with that being said, I mean, we've had little hints, like you're saying, of the cloning and everything. I don't know if this movie will give us that, but I think it's going to be a fun adventure regardless, to pull people in. And I get what you're saying about, I wasn't too much into the prequels or anything, but what the good thing about Star Wars is everything that has come out has turned into somebody's Star Wars.
Of course.
So even though, episode 1, 2, and 3 wasn't for you, to some kid out there who is now an adult, basically, that's their Star Wars. And it goes for the same for 7, 8, and 9, where that's still their Star Wars as a kid right now, turning into a teenager now, that's what they were introduced to. But the good part is the people who grew up on some of this Disney Plus stuff, or the ones in between, like you're saying, Solo, Rogue One, able to do these. Skeleton Crew was such a fun show. Like all of this Disney stuff that is there, I know Andor. It gets talked about a lot. Andor was just special, man. That was a whole nother level of Star Wars, right? More to bring it back to an adult sense. So that's why I've always been into the Star Wars scene, because no matter what, your Star Wars that you love is something that was introduced to you as a kid that you've now grown into.
I learned that the hard way. I teach high school. I remember it was the school year of 2016. I had a student who was all about, she's like, I'm really into Star Wars. And then she proceeded to let me know that she was all about the prequels. And I should have been a lot more thoughtful about the way I received that news. And she and I processed for a good year and talked about it. And like, she gets it too, because apparently her father was the same way with her. But no, and she's now what? She's got to be in her late 20s. That those were her Star Wars, and she's still into it, and that's what it's about. So us old guys need to be real chill and welcome folks in. And I'm definitely in this mode of like being excited about the new stuff, just because even if it's not the stories that you might be into, like visually, Star Wars has just become this whole other level of beauty. And Andor, of course, sometimes the writing is just great. Like for somebody like myself who's about to be 50, like, give me those thoughtful explorations of what it means to be a rebellion. How do you get people involved? Like, where are these people coming from? There's stuff that was set up in that show that I want to know more about. I still want to know about that lightsaber ship, man. Like, what was up with dude's ship having that big old beam that shoots out the side that tore into the like, I want to know more about this stuff. And if they never explain it, that's cool too. I get it. Leave it mysterious, but Star Wars is fantastic. I'm looking forward to this. I'm also looking forward to, actually, you mentioned Rebels and Clone Wars. This movie in particular is going to really like tie up some old threads. Like, whatever happened to that baby from the first Clone Wars movie, right? Rod of the Hutt, Jabba's kid. Mm-hmm. Like, that was one of the first things that Anakin and Ahsoka had to do, was like figure out how they're going to get this baby to their parents, etc. And now that big buff guy, if y'all didn't notice, the big buff Hutt that pops up in here, that's him being voiced by apparently the chef of the bear. What is that guy's name? Jim.
Yeah, that's awesome. It is. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Yeah.
And then there's stuff in here about Rebels, like
and I have to say that's got to be Paul in the opening scene. Come on,
that's going to be amazing. Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, who plays Carson Teva. Shout out to the name. I grew up in Downey, so I'm familiar with Carson, California. Yes, Jeremy Allen White. Thank you very much. And so this is all cool. You've got this guy who's like from Solo, and there was one of him that was also in that Jedi Survivor game. There's all sorts of really cool. Some of this stuff that you're seeing right there with the Remnant is some cool nods to the old Legends books. So there was another cartoon thing. What am I thinking? Obviously, like the rest of Carson Teva's crew, Zeb is in this, right? From Rebels.
From Rebels.
So it's going to be pretty cool. All this stuff is
live action Zeb. We've had Ahsoka, Sabine.
One of my favorite bounty hunters from the Clone Wars was, oh my God, what is his name? I'm blanking. He was the guy with the hat that he would throw around.
Embo.
Yes, Embo. And his Embo
right
and his pups. So anyway, it's going to be cool.
Tie-ins. You know, it's great what they're doing over there because they're fans as well too. Yep. And I love when they throw in stuff like that. So it's going to be awesome.
Well, how about this? Before then, we're going to see Maul return. Again, Maul returns. Maul always returns. But this is pretty soon. This is coming April 6th. And then, like I said, it's going to continue on through till May the 4th. Mm-hmm. So here's the release schedule. But this is another one I'm looking forward to. It seems like every single time they do a animated show with Lucasfilm, that they up the ante, technologically speaking. Like that picture, that new Twi'lek character.
Yes,
that first shot looks beautiful. It's like a in between live action, but it's clearly animated.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so funny, man, that some people today still disregard the animation stuff. Like they really think that it's kiddie, and I'm like, dude, it's not. Yeah, you don't know how many times I have to tell people, like, will you please give it a chance?
It's Western culture, like you're saying. I'm not. I don't mean to be throwing this in your face, but you know how it took you a bit to get into anime. But the thing is, anime, both manga and anime in the East, in Japan in particular, like the because of what developed post-war, everybody was reading comics, and then later everyone was watching anime, not just kids, right? Adults, correct. Men, women, and so. Here it was like, oh yeah, animation's kiddie stuff. So we're dealing with some of that, right? But those people are boring, and hopefully
this is very theatric, like you're saying, man. This preview is nuts. I'm so excited for it. You know, you can't believe that we're getting a story from a dude from episode 1 who was just cut in half, and here we are, 2026. Getting the next part of his story that we're so hyped on, you know, just what a great story to tell. I'm all for it. This looks amazing. I want to know all about her. You know, we're getting, are we going to get Vader in here? You know, that's what I'm hoping. Maybe some chatter around Vader. That would
Vader
be great. Yeah. Cause we need to still tie them together. Oh God. Yeah. Even if it's still a mention, even if I hear Maul be like,
yes, I'd love more of a mention.
Yeah, you know,
if I had to control it, I'd rather have a mention rather than a battle. Because, for
not a battle. I want to hear the opposite ends of it. You know,
I'll take whatever they give me. But the idea that here you have Maul, a person who helped basically set things in motion to put Palpatine into power, now finds himself realizing through events in the Clone Wars and in Rebels, like, it's kind of out of revenge, right? He's pissed at his old master for sure. I want to see how that dovetails with the Rebels also being against the Emperor and kind of seeing how that all works. So April 6th through May 4th, folks. They're going to basically be doing 2 episodes a week. So it's going to be a good April to May. I'm going to, have to squeeze it in because between this guy's many streams, between Toy Miko's, between all this stuff that I'm watching, somewhere along the way, I'm going to have to be like, all right, I need to watch this. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be exciting for sure.
And now with things changing over in one of our favorite places on the planet, in Disneyland, who knows if we'll even maybe get Mall at some point, because they are doing this. And I know you know about this. They've sort of pivoted a little bit. The original plan for Galaxy.
Listen to me. So
they pivoted from the original plan for Batuu Galaxy's Edge, which was to sort of do a fixed moment in time set in the sequel trilogy era, but they've since decided. So in other words, you would never see like Darth Vader in Batuu. You had to go to like
Star Tours. Then they started bending the rules.
Yes, especially when The Mandalorian came out, primarily because Grogu was such a phenomenon. And they officially announced, this was back in January, that, hey, you know what? We're actually going to shift the timeline around so that the section around the Falcon and Oga's Cantina, that area will be now set in the original trilogy. And then if you move down into the woods of Batuu and you start to hear things like rumblings of a resistance base brewing, that'll be the sequel trilogy era. So it sounds like, we know where you fall because they listened to you, is what I'm hearing, right? You sat down with Imagineering and you're like,
you need to tell your brother to call me. I got so many ideas, just give me 5 hours of his time. That's all I need.
That would be
generous. Yeah. So this has been my idea when we got Batuu, which started Star Wars Land. I hate how people call it Star Wars Land, but I even call it Star Wars Land, but I just hate it. It's Galaxy's Edge Batuu. Yes. And you're supposed to be on this whole different planet, immersed in it. Mm-hmm. So it was great at the time of storytelling. This is supposed to be between 7 and 8 is the story that's here on Batuu. And then you had the Falcon and you have Rise of the Resistance. One of the greatest rides in history, by the way. Rise Resistance puts you
absolutely
into the movie itself.
It's like 3 to 4 different ride mechanics in one experience. Yep.
You don't even know that you're in line. You're already on the ride. That's how great it is.
Yep.
So
100%.
With that being said, then you have this planet that you're supposed to be on that's on the outskirts of the outer rim and everything, which we hear all the time. So it was cool for 2 years, but then even still, Disney didn't give us what they said. There was supposed to be aliens walking around. Hondo, which is a huge part of the Star Wars story as well, is only an animatronic inside the ride, but yet he was supposed to be walking outside as well, too. We were supposed to get aliens. We were supposed to get droids, and that didn't happen. That took a little bit longer. Now, all of the Disney cast members are in full immersed and will tell you bright suns. They call your phone scanning device. It's very cool what they do, but this has been for about 2 years. Then it kind of just dropped off. It was the same thing. And this is where I was like, being there all the time, what would be so easy for them, man, is seasonal. Let's do it seasonal.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Say winter was OTC. Then comes spring is episodes 1, 2, and 3. And then, you get what I'm saying? So that you can...
I 100% get what you're saying, yeah.
During the seasons, you can change that because the ride can still be the ride. It's the out and the visitors that are there, which is now basically what they're doing. So now it's going to be from...
Piece. Sorry.
As far as what?
Well, the tricky piece is the ride, right? So, my understanding of what's going to happen is because in that one area, the ride of Rise of Resistance, you can't really change that. You go there, you're going to be thrust into the sequel trilogy era. In the other side, though, with Falcon, they can change out it's not a simple change out, but essentially like they've done with Star Tours, right? They can change the video, and I hear they are doing that, and they're gonna. Apparently, there's a little bit more to it as well, which is awesome. But they're gonna set it in. It's actually not. Am I right? Is it now going to be set original trilogy? Oh, it is, right? It is going to be set original trilogy, but that's a little bit weird because I'm hearing that Din Djarin and Grogu are kind of a part of the Falcons.
So it's going to have your areas, which is still fine, which is I'm still cool with. So to me, bro, the ride is the ride. When you're in line for Rise of the Resistance, in that line, you do turn into Rise of the Resistance during that time period. Outside is your Rebel base. You have an X-Wing, an A-Wing out there. You can change the outside of it, the whole look. You're now in the Rebel territory. So we can get
their new era vehicles, though.
It just takes a little cosmetics on there, bro. Because they got to change. They got to change Kylo's interceptor.
Yeah, this part.
The walking, correct.
That's the one thing that's
and they are. I heard. Well, no, I heard they're going to change it. So then in this part now, it's changing from the Resistance to the Galactic Empire, which is where you'll see Vader and like that, which is fine. The Falcon is itself in the ride will be the Mando and Grogu movie. That's what the ride is changing to now. So they're already doing it. Then in between in your marketplace area, as they do now, that's where you'll see your Din, Ahsoka, Boba Fett, and like that. The Disney Plus era type stuff. Right. But I'm glad that we're taking this step already to it, because it will bring more back to the land, and hopefully they'll see that it works. And maybe, like I said, we can get more. Maybe, yes, at some point we can get the Emperor and Maul walking around, and a Qui-Gon and an Obi-Wan, even a Jar Jar. You know, that would be great. So I see it as that. You know, let's have 1, 2, and 3. Let's have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we can also have the Disney Plus stuff. There you have 4 times a year that it could change and do this. So I hope this works out well. I see it as being a big win, and I'm all for it, and I can't wait. Because
I can't wait.
You walk in there, and I still to this day look up when you hear a TIE fighter fly over you.
Of course. That's actually my little thing, that whenever I get to have the ears of people who are involved in developing that area, it's the kinetic stuff I want to see. So I'm glad to see the droids coming out, right? The characters. But I've always wondered, like, man, couldn't you just have it's a safety hazard that they can't do it, but like little models of ship that, like, from forced perspectives, just going over, you know, just that weird.
You know, they tried it a couple times, right?
I know they did. They did for the opening thing. They did the thing where
they were
come out from behind.
Yes,
that was beautiful.
They were.
That's because it was back in the parking lot area where it's a.
Yeah, and then to change that, they had it loud and just had them fly higher, but they did have at one point some drones.
Yeah.
That were dressed up as X-Wings and everything. They tried it, but then again, it's that whole safety hazard, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like, I love this in-universe stuff, man. That like that. I love being immersed in Star Wars. So we'll see. Here's a random aside, but I'm assuming you've been able to see the new show that they do there during the fireworks, right? Where it's like, have you seen that show?
The Skywalker story.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that.
It is.
So, folks, if you're going to Disneyland, and Adam, who I know will be going, we're going to WonderCon next week to sell AWOC figures, and then he's going to stay and do some Disney time. You need to go check out, instead of watching the fireworks from the Main Street area or any of that stuff, go to Batu, sit in front of the Falcon. And so basically they've created the show that is timed to the other park fireworks, but it's essentially like a rebel or a resistance broadcast of this guy who's sort of like, I don't know, like the equivalent of a Banksy or like a pirate radio guy who's telling you the story of the Skywalkers. And it's beautiful. John Williams music, fireworks in the background. That's one of those experiences as a Star Wars fan. You're just like, oh my God, amazing.
Yeah,
we're giant nerds, Ernie. I appreciate your nerd, man.
Oh, I love it, man. It can bring a tear to your eye, bro. It's the stuff that they do is beautiful.
Yeah, real quick. What's up, Erwin? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. VDog24. Hello. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Fabio's here. What's up, man? Hello, Ernie and guest. I love that. That works.
Because I have it going on mine. But see, there you go.
No matter. Yeah, it works. What's up, Fabio? Let's see. Palpatine versus Savage Maul is legit my favorite lightsaber.
Oh man. Wars. Yeah.
When he was pissed at his master and he's like, I'm back.
It is.
You did something not nice to my brother. I'm trying to come get you. That was good times. What's this? Vader versus Maul is greater than Obi-Wan versus Vader. I enjoyed that too. That'd be interesting, but I don't know. That was such a beautiful story moment. But anyway, we'll see a Vader versus Maul. I don't know. I kind of don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it for a bunch of story reasons. Let's see. RMD is saying one underrated cameo I want to see in this series is Thrawn, especially how he connects with the Night Sisters. 100% to give us a sense of that Ahsoka story.
Absolutely.
Hey, on that note, let's start talking about toys. How about a 12-inch 1/6 Thrawn? So this is the sideshow one that I think has gone up for pre-order already. I'm not the person who, I don't do 1/6, so I'm just appreciating here from afar. But this is a damn good representation of Thrawn, because if you're into Thrawn from the books back in the day, or Thrawn from Rebels, or Thrawn from Ahsoka, they give you that sort of animated head that's very
fantastic.
Of the books. Yeah.
Fantastic that they do that.
Look at that.
You can hear him.
I loved Thrawn as a kid. I didn't love some of the other stuff from those books, but the character himself was awesome, and I'm glad to sort of see him here. I hope we get to see more of the Thrawn, though. That I just hope he's a real threat. That's all.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool. Do you have any 1/6?
Menacing threat.
Yes. Do you have any 1/6 at all? This
is
more of a statue. You do.
Yes, I do. That actually came from Toy Migos as well too. As we talked earlier, I was a big time in the box collector. I mean, I still am on some things, but the guys have really opened me up to ripping into it and opening my toys. That's where Rip Into It came from, is, because trying to get me to open up certain things. But I mean, I was so in box, it took a prize collection to get me to open stuff. And oh man, did they have me open some really, really grails in my collection is what I had to open. But because of that, I did receive some Hot Toys and some Sideshow stuff, and it was Boba Fett. And I've gone on to order some stuff because of how beautiful it is, and I have it in the case back there. So I actually received, the Empire Boba, the Han and Carbonite. I do have the all black Boba from the comic books. Cool. I do have the Book of Boba Fett on the throne. So I have quite a few in my case back there, which I absolutely love because they're great, for what they come with. I know the price is high, but they also have payment plans now that they offer, which is the way that I was able to do it. Yeah, that's the best way. And then, you sit there, and I know this is more a statuesque, but even like this, with Boba and the throne, you can at times, I can go in there and change up his pose, and add certain things of all the accessories and stuff that they get is wow.
You know what? At this size, it really is a showpiece, and at this size, you're not really getting the kind of articulation you might get from a really solid 112 figure where you can hit all these different poses. So it's a little bit more of a display. So like, this is Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's in his, he's got that classic, I'm thinking, figuring, I'm plotting. So I get it. Why it's a little bit more statuesque. But you mentioned Carbonite, you mentioned Boba Fett. Did you see these? So this is Jedi, but then you'll also see Han. That's I think it's mainly an Empire look. Yeah, it is the Empire look. So I don't know. Are these things that you're considering at all? Hey, look, it's brown, not blue.
They're so beautiful. At this time, though, I can't. But I hear you. She is tempting, as far as because of the whole Jabba scene,
Yep.
But then you really got to trek back and get Chewie, and Chewie is old. So I mean, because how could you not have her with Chewie? Chewie is an old one. I always love the shots that Johnny does with Chewie, Sergeant Bananas. They look amazing.
You said you had Han and Carbonite, though?
Yes, I do.
You could have her next to that.
I know. I saw this, and it's on the list. It's something I'm going to have to look at just because of that, But
they're beautiful, man.
Yeah.
They're absolutely beautiful.
It's funny because we've had so much other Star Wars figures. The three of them, it's very hard to capture their face.
Yeah.
All the time, from Carrie to Mark, it's really hard. We haven't seen someone like, man, did you see that head sculpt? But these nail it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at her. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is great. Bausch was like my favorite as a kid, that Kenner figure. And I've always been intrigued by like, who was that actual character before? And we kind of saw some of that in the comics. It's like a team of them, but they're just cool looking. Again, like I said, for me, look at that. Fantastic. I'm just window shopping on these. I appreciate these from afar. I have no business even starting anything, any 1/6 anything. So, but they're cool. All right.
Let's talk their character. You will.
Yeah.
And it will be a great showpiece. There's always that one that gets you, man. It really is. There's always one.
Get behind me, Satan. This is the Ling Ji-hun Ninja Turtles, which this is just a sort of them teasing. Actually, they released these to remind everyone, like, hey, don't forget, we Ling Ji-hun, aka Medi Toys, but Ling Ji-hun for the officially licensed stuff. We have the license for Ninja Turtles, and this week they wanted everybody to know that they weren't just going to do the Turtles. They needed villains. Do you see these Rocksteady and Bebop?
Man, these are awesome. These are great. As we talked about, my thing is I could throw these into a versus category. What I mean is, like, I'm all into fighting games, and I'm loving the versus series that's going on. From Mortal Kombat is my favorite to, of course, Street Fighter, but then Marvel versus Capcom, everything is great. But we did have a fighting series of Turtles that happened, and that's what these look like to me. These look like how they would look in a fighting game. But I mean, you can use these for so much more, even if you're not a Turtle fan. The detail in them, what they have and everything. We talked about even their ears are posable. What the heck?
Rocksteady's ears are posable.
Right? That's awesome.
It's so smart, especially given that you've got this sort of like bomber leather helmet thing, that you can take that off and you can pose them up. Let me see if I can bring that up here. I got it here somewhere. Here we go. And I don't know. Have you ever messed with any of these Medi Toys or Ling Ji-hun figures?
No. So Jay Shot actually had one of the Turtles and he held it up. So these boys are gonna be beefy.
Yeah,
they are gonna be good for the price. The accessories that they have, Jay Shot said yes, it was good. Seen him hold up the turtle, and the shot that they show here of them, overtowering the turtle. These are going to be some good beefy boys, and I think will work for lots of different collections as well. I would say go for it. It looks really, really good.
Every Medi toy that I've handled, the sculpts are incredible. And they're big and they're bulky, but they do a great job of making a move. Here's a Medi toy ogre.
Oh, nice.
He's huge. But the joints are fantastic. You got your double stuff and all pinless and all the whole nine. His panza and his rotation on that.
Big.
Fantastic. So,
and that's what this looks like here as well.
Yeah. These are going to move so well. And then they're doing the soft goods too, that aren't no slouch. Those are great. Check that out. We'll get the overstitching and the distressing, the weathering. So good. And then here's that. Look at that. You can take everything off and you can kind of see this wild boar with a mohawk. Come on now. And then just sort of the drama of the posing, what you can get. Here's the ears.
Correct.
Check that out. Anyway,
if you're not a turtle dude, these could still probably fit in somewhere in your collection.
Yeah.
Just like you showed that ogre right now. Woo.
Yeah. That's mine. Yeah, I get weird stuff. What other people consider weird stuff, but I love it, and I love, like you said, putting them up against each other. So I'll get like a Mythic Legions, like
Yeah.
bear versus ogre, and let's go. You know. Anyway, I dig this kind of stuff. It's up for pre-order right now on 5K. They look good. You mentioned what they look like in relation to the turtles, and of course, I don't have it available, but they look good. And I'm looking forward to these. I haven't, unfortunately, gotten any of the turtles. That's my issue. They're definitely a little spendy, but I was looking at, I don't know if you remember, way before they finally released the turtles as is, they had these variants at I think it was one of the Wonder Festivals, where they were like more like Japanese samurai garb or Ronin garb. They were super expensive to track down. I wasn't able to do it. But if we can get another bite at these, I might consider getting
make it a different colorway. Leave these the exclusive ones, but you could definitely throw in a different colorway and make it available again.
So anyway, we'll see. As of now, I'm not getting any of those turtles. There's a couple more things I wanted, some pieces of ephemera I wanted to share with you today. Ernie, that same company, Medi Toys, released their first human-ish figure. So they've got the ogre, they've got orcs. Their whole thing is they're doing unlicensed World of Warcraft stuff, basically. Like that ogre's World of Warcraft thing. Their orcs are World of Warcraft. This is not, and this is the first time they're doing something that is on the human side. They haven't even released any human figures in their WoW stuff. So this is their Spartan, kind of meant to be this like gladiator thing, Spartan thing going on. It's the first time using kind of their buck, but it's not the same body. It's but using the same articulation. So we're finally getting a human body in this sort of stylized gladiator. I think he looks fantastic. What do you think? What's your eyeballs telling you?
Yeah, these are cool. Very standalone by themselves. That face sculpt is nice as well too. Mm-hmm. I know the articulation is like very ratchety, and it works. That means it's strong. This is nice.
You see him sitting on top of one of their World of Warcraft for scale. So he's a bigger dude.
That's what I was going to say. So just how big is he?
They list him as 110, but if I'm judging compared to this, knowing that the orcs like hover at around 8.5 to 9, he's probably like 7.5 inches tall. He's big, or maybe potentially 7 if I'm going by the top of his head. That's hard to tell here because he does look smaller. He's sitting on it and he's in the foreground. But
with the price tag at 90, I wish it would been a little bit cheaper. I mean, I can understand, of course, this is beefy.
Look at you.
I'm just saying 60 just because of you when you see the one gladiator, you kind of want another one, right? Have one without the helmet off, at least 3. One helmet off and 2 helmeted behind him, to switch up the look. I understand their price point though. I'm just saying, like, trying to come out the gate with it. The cloth cape looks good, all wired and everything. They definitely know how to sell it for the posing up. I mean, this looks cool. I would love to see some people when they get it in and the shots they're going to do with it.
Yeah, I think it looks really great. I'm not necessarily in the market for a gladiator, but I was more just intrigued by seeing them do a human figure and see what that's like.
Yeah,
and it looks really good, applying their paint and their sculpting to it. You mentioned that soft goods cape is dope. A little raw, but I think it makes sense for this dude from like that time period, just that little bit raw edge. Cool looking, and I'm proud of you. You clocked this right here. Look at you. Yoko's taught you well. You're reading now.
Yeah.
But here he is in the nude, sans clothes, but he's still got his chanclas on because the floor is cold.
And those are just skin color chonies. That's all.
Yeah, it's for camera. It's for like they do.
It's a good buck. That's
it's for like Hollywood filming. I forgot what they get. Yeah. but it is a good buck. So I'm really curious to see
Yeah.
how it plays out. So we'll see. We'll see. Who's that girl? TD3 likes the Spartans.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, let's shift out. And there's I wanted to end. I don't know. I know you will pay attention to the indie toy stuff, especially through Toy Migos. You guys always do a good job of taking a look at that stuff, but you might not have seen these. The first one I wanted to share is a friend of the show, Brian Von Burke. That was hard to say. Is doing his own line, and he's going to kickstart a line that he's designed. He's a dude who does like amazing custom stuff for Mythic Legions, and so since then he's been developing his own line that'll be Ashen Oath. And so they're going to be doing their Kickstarter. They originally were going to be live already, but it's opening up this Tuesday. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to let folks watching the show to sort of, you've seen me talk about this Kickstarter before, so get ready. And I just wanted to share with Ernie too that there's something new coming aboard. Maybe they can be a chat Migo at some point during the campaign. But check this out. It's like more like a dark fantasy type line. So, you can't have dark fantasy without skeleton-headed warriors.
Yeah, those are cool.
This is him sharing the prototypes at Legions Con this past November. And that was his first time that we got to see sort of what the colors are looking. Very muted. He's got a very, he uses this word, grimdark aesthetic. So, I'll follow his.
Yeah, but it should be though, right?
Yeah, no, it's totally appropriate, right? Especially if you know his style as a person. He's like, this is totally his jam.
Right.
But he's a super creative guy. The figures are looking really nice. There's some, if folks are wondering about like the other characters, let me see. Here is the sort of villainous resonant that we're seeing there in the skeletons. Dope graphic designer too.
Those are cool.
Brian Von Burke, man, he's a talent. There it is. And then as far as the sort of heroes, he calls them goodish because, again, there's a little bit of the grimdark vibe of like, there's shades of gray, right? Not so much light side, dark side. So this is the main protagonist, but you just get a sense of the vibe of the line. Here's a little bit more of this character, Vesperon. Cool looking armor. It's like they could probably slot right in with your Mythic Legions because he's a huge Mythic Legions fan. Vesperon of the Eventide. I had him on the show a while back, real early when he was starting to reveal the figures. I'll definitely have him back during the Kickstarter. Here's a sense of what he's thinking about in terms of the articulation.
That's what I was wondering about. It's always hard with armor guys and the stuff, but to see it underneath, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a ball joint here and a butterfly. So those are like the little extender caps. You've got a ball joint at the waist and diaphragm, same, and then double jointed knees, elbows, ankle. You've got the disc joint there, and it'll be on a rocker. So I don't know, it's definitely a thing where we've gotten all sorts of kind of like fantasy lines, but this definitely skews in a more sort of dark, again, he keeps saying dark fantasy, grim dark. So it's that kind of vibe. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's doing. Any thoughts from what you're seeing?
Yeah, I love skeleton skulls and like that. These are really, really cool. Even to pick up one to throw in somewhere. Yeah, that looks awesome, man. But look at the detail on there too. He has skulls all on the armor and stuff as well. Look at on the knee pads down there. That's dope. Sometimes people forget to check the detail of things. Look at moving up to right there, more skulls.
See, that's like kind of a skull right there. That's if
dope.
You envision these are the eyes, and that's
correct. Right? Yeah. It's a lot of thought and work put into it. Like the skeleton ribs on the outside of the armor right there. That's cool. This is a cool look.
Gorgeous.
May have to pick up one, like I said, because I love that. But this is also one of those figures that, yes, like you said, he may do stuff for other lines, but this can tie in to different things. which is always good. A good buy for when you're trying to justify to yourself of why do I need this?
Yeah.
And then you always think of where else can I put it? And yeah, this could definitely fit with other lines and stuff that's in there.
Yeah, with your Motu Chronicles, Masterverse,
Everything there. Yeah. Marcus
Mythic
had said there
Legions,
was
AWOP.
translucent green weapons. That's
Yeah,
dope.
there's all sorts of stuff going on with his weapons, and he's doing realistic metal stuff and translucent stuff. I don't know what's going on with the LED thing. I don't know if that's just for effect, but
For
it even
there,
says
yeah.
here it's 7.5. They're taller figures, 7.5 inch, and you know you can get a sense of what it's going to look like next to all these different figures. So that's a Mythic Legions. This is a Savage Crucible. I know someone in here was asking, "Hey, what's up, Solo Sinner?" Asking if these were going to be swappable. They're not necessarily going to be directly swappable, like intentionally, but it looks like size-wise, perfect timing. This is what they'll look like. That's a Savage Crucible. And dude, Solo, thank you very much. Never expected, always appreciated. Solo Sinner with a $50 Canadian super chat. Hey, Brick, just some love to offset the loss in revenue for kicking those kids out now. All good. That was my mistake. I don't know how it ended up getting set to kids, but it was because Ernie was here.
I was
fault. Like, he's just so friendly that I thought maybe the kids, look, he's got like, no, it's not your fault. It was totally my fault. You had nothing to do with it. Anyway, here's next some Mezco. So I'm looking forward to these. Kickstarter starts this Tuesday. I'm trying to see. Marcus, I'm right there with you, man. I absolutely love when they break down the articulation like that. Just give us a good look at it. And I just think it's a cool graphic. SES Dog, what's going on, man? Aloha. Glad to see you here catching it live. Appreciate you. Larry's Geeky World is definitely going to back a few figures from Ash and Oath. I am there with you. Yes, this is like truly grim dark. I think they embraced that since the beginning of what was Warhammer. TD3 Trooper on point.
Nice.
He's doing that. More blank base figures, the better. And TD3 Troopers into that Spartans. So anyway, dude, the indie toy thing, that's kind of what I largely collect and traffic in. And so I've featured a lot of like indie creators here. And so again, I'll definitely bring Brian back once the campaign starts and talk more about where he's at with that. That's going to be fun. But there's one line, and we'll end with this, Ernie. There's a line that I definitely need to make sure you know about, and you might already. This one's por la raza, man. This is for you and my LA friends who Rise of the Fifth Sun. So we're getting Mexica.
Is this figures. The Aztec Warriors?
Yes, dude. This is Jason Rodriguez, who's also been here before. I had the prototypes here. So he works with this dude who brought the prototypes, and he was sitting in my dining room table with them, and I was here, and then we had Jason in streaming in from Mexico, and we talked about the line. So you've seen these, and I'm so glad you've seen these, because that's I want to make sure.
I saw them a while ago, but
aware.
I couldn't find info. So what's the info on these?
Okay, so Rise of the Fifth Sun is the the Instagram that folks should follow. It's by Jason Demon. Folks know him as Jason Demon Rodriguez, because he has like a Patreon, and folks who do custom work and 3D printing stuff know his sculpts, because his sculpts are impeccable. And he decided he wanted to do his own line, and it's a passion project, because he's Mexican dude out of Mexico. I forget what part, but northern side. And he loves his culture, what folks know as Aztecs or Mexica, as they refer to themselves as. He wants to do a line, and so it's very well researched, but also it's got fantasy elements. So it's not like 100% true to the history, but it is deeply rooted. So even the name, the notion of the different eras of the Mexica or Aztec civilization, right, and the different gods associated with them. So it's going to sort of set up the struggle of these four key gods and their creations, humans. And so these are just a bunch of the different prototypes that have come out. I wanted to share a little bit. We were looking at the size comparisons for Ash and Oath. So this is a look at what the body's going to look like. He's been tweaking it for a while. Look at the range on that thing. on those butterflies is like, he showed me, he sent me some pics of like where they're at. I was like, hey, what's the range looking like? I know you're doing tweaks, and he's got that thing, almost crossing arms in front of him and all the way back. So he's cut a little bit into the pecs to be able to do that. It's a really beautiful buck just to have like a human body. So I love what he's doing with that. He's been doing a crap ton of R&D on it. And so he's sort of like pitched everything around the different gods, like I said. So here essentially are the 4 key characters, the 4 gods that are going to be sort of, of the different factions, if you will, like from another line, right? And then there's going to be these bonus figures, including the one that we just saw that's more of a human. Here is Tlaloc, rain god. My favorites because of the eyes.
Nice.
And
how do we order these?
So this is going to be a Kickstarter in May. So we got Ash and Oath going in next week.
Okay.
And then the Cryptoids are going right now. Those are going to end mid-April. And then I think the 4 Horsemen will end like right around April 4th, I want to say. So we're free and clear for a little bit. Then come May, we're talking Mexica figures, Aztec figures, Rise of the Fifth Sun by Jason Demon. So look out for those. He hasn't like sort of set the actual date yet. Part of it is like, trying to dance around other people's schedules, but also development wants to be ready. There's another one of these characters. Folks on my channel, this is Quetzalcoatl, who folks have seen on the channel quite a bit. But man, I've been looking for these figures a long time. I grew up in LA. Yeah, dude, a 5th grader.
Bad.
As a 5th grader in St. Raymond's, right? We had to do, I remember like, oh, you're going to do your indigenous tribe. They probably said Indian back then. I had the Aztecs. And I remember doing like at a clay on a wooden board, like Tenochtitlan, the city on the lake, and I was just intrigued by this stuff. And I've always been intrigued by this stuff. And I love to see like in action figure form, we're going to get this. I remember seeing this
because we never have.
No. And I remember seeing this in like encyclopedias and stuff and the actual artifact. So this is the mask of Tezcatlipoca. And so he's kind of like envisioned what would that look like if it were a being, and that's what this character is about. Just like cool looking stuff. Like, so aside from the Mexica, the cultural aspect, the Mexican aspect of it, anybody would look at these things and go like, dude, that's the most badass Skeletor I've ever seen. Like, and I'm looking at the body and how it moves. I think action figure collectors are just going to be interested in seeing what this line's about. So
I need these.
Cool. I love to hear that. I want to make sure that you heard about it. Tell the primos, and
please let me know when you have more info of
100%
going up.
Yeah, and
that's dope. I mean, I saw it a very long time ago, but then I thought that it wasn't happening.
Oh, it's for sure happening. It's just about development and time. And so here's that. This was sort of one of the last things revealed, which is like the army builder, right? I'll make sure I'll tell them to send you stuff and keep you in the loop so you can tell folks about it.
That's beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, there's something about it that I'm just like, this is great. Someday we're gonna see some figures like this based on stuff coming out of the Philippines someday.
Yeah.
But I'm happy as a LA born and raised person, which is that is Mexica, man. That's Mexica territory. But I love to see it, man. I love to see this stuff getting its day in the sun, no pun intended.
Yeah, that was nice.
He's also doing this stuff like, kind of just not necessarily to sell, but he's developing it and people are interested. But can you imagine having that? Come on, there are folks who probably like made fun of you for the toys, or like just didn't understand the whole toy thing. I'm hoping that you've got some homies from back in the day who would be like, hey, you should check this out.
I want some purely for cultural and reasons of my Theo.
Yeah.
He has a mural here in town that still has never been touched or tagged over.
Beautiful.
They tried to remove it one time and now it's known as a landmark to the city, of
Love
the
that.
whole Aztec warrior with the girl holding it.
Oh yeah.
And he did that when he was a teenager, man. And it's
Wow.
a whole wall that still is here till this day. And this is, I gotta get this. This is, wow,
Yes.
that's beautiful.
Cool. Please,
Yeah.
like, tell the folks it is happening. May is the target. I don't think at one point he did put out a date there, but he said no, just May. Look at May. I
Okay.
will definitely tell him that you're a person he should just message and start sending stuff to. For Marcus, here, check this out, Marcus. As far as like see-through stuff, man, we're getting artifacts that we've seen in like museums and murals, illustrations. We're gonna get them in action figure form, and we can put these guys up. Go against the mythic legions, go up against He-Man, or hang out with He-Man and see what that's all about. Thundercats, Awok, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So yeah, man, I just wanted to make sure you knew about it. And don't forget, so you mentioned like the Aztec warrior and the Mexico woman. He's got plans. It won't be wave
Wow,
one.
really? Yeah.
But the women are coming and are well under development, and so we might be able to recreate your uncle's, your Theo's mural.
Yeah.
In action figure form, man.
That'd be great. That's beautiful, man.
That's awesome, it, man.
I love it. How many is he coming out the gate with? 4?
No. So there's going to be the 4 gods, and then he's already announced. So I think there's 7. I'm assuming the 4 gods are going to be the main thing, and then the 3. And this is not that he's shared any inside information with me at all. I'm just purely judging. What I'm sharing is what's been revealed on the Instagram.
Okay.
And that he when he was on the show, he said, "Yep, 4 wave of 4." And then he's been revealing like, this might be something we might shoot towards. So my sense is the 3 figures: the army builder, the mask guy, and then what was the other one? I'm forgetting. But those are revealed as potential unlocks. And then there's another figure that might be just a statue. It's like a skeleton with a headdress that he's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to articulate this, but this might just be kind of one of those stretch goals. So he's planning. It's gonna be a cool reveal. So yeah, dude, sound the alarm. Let the folks know that something cool's coming. So
that's beautiful.
Mission accomplished, man. Anyway, thank you so much, Lyle, for that. E knows what's up. Nolan's really liking these figure, and Ray loves the hummingbird guy. You know what? Marcus was asking if you were going to get that. I don't know if you saw that, but he's one of my favorites too. Because just such a Huitzilopochtli, just such a cool looking, like, again, cultural, like that's there. That's not never going to be taken away. Yeah. It's obviously a correct thing. But you take that aside, put that aside for a second. I challenge anybody who's just like into fantasy and stuff to look at this and not go, damn, that's interesting. That's cool. What is that? Because I haven't seen this in Filmation He-Man. You know what I mean? Like this kind of look. It's something new. It's something different. That headdress is killer. And if you're into Marvel Legends, hey, in MCU, put them next to your Namor. And let's go.
Anyway. That's beautiful. Yeah, Marcus, I have to. I'd be very interested in the top 4. So,
right on, man. Nice. I just wanted to make sure that I shared that with you. But Ernie, seriously, thank you for hanging out with me today, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah. And anytime, I would love to, if you got time to talk Disney or Star Wars or anything else, ghost stories. I've shared a couple with you in October.
Yeah.
But just like I'm sure you've heard family from here, but also Mexico. My family from the Philippines got some good stories, fun stories. So I would love to share those with you sometime, man.
Yeah, man, you got to hop on and we'll do that. Maybe you and I, like I said before, we can get together and really geek out on some Disney stuff and do a how we do Disney episode and like that. And yeah, man, we'll get things rolling for sure.
Cool. Would love that. And folks, This whole thing that's been scrolling around, there's a URL there, and then there's a QR code. I'm pointing here because I'm pretty sure I'm reversed, but on the show,
you're good. You're perfect.
So that'll take you to all the links, everything we looked at, including Rise of the Fifth Son and everything else. If there was something in there that was intriguing you, I just put together a Google Doc. It's nothing weird. I'm not trying to take any money from it. I'm not that smart, but I love to share. So go to these people, go follow them, tell people about all the different Kickstarters and all the cool figures available, and, just build community. Because I learned from this guy and the Toy Migos that it's all about community. I mean, it truly is. Like that's what this is about. I love my toys, and they're fun to play with when I'm, hanging out and look at them. But it's even more fun when I get to talk to whatever you're finding, whatever you're playing with, compare notes. That's where the magic is. So, all right. Hey, tell me a little bit more about, let's let folks know kind of what your schedule is, at least maybe for the upcoming stuff. If
let's see. So Mondays we might throw in a special show for some down the rabbit hole type stuff with myself, Cheney, and maybe some guests as well. Conspiracy theories, aliens, and like that. Then Tuesdays after Chat Migos Assemble, we will have the Fallen Fett Chronicles. Just look up Fallen Fett Chronicles on YouTube. That is my page. And then Wednesday night, Star Wars news and information with the Sarlacc Digest. And Thursday with the Toy Migos for all your toy news and info and everything you need with They're Not Dolls.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And while we're here, let me play the earning for a second. And if you do check out Toy Migos, you need to be a channel member, because I gotta say the extras after, even though I can tell these guys get tired, but it's fun, man. It's just it's so random. Like, yes, we talk toys, but hey, let's hang out and talk about snacks. Let's talk about what we're watching on TV. Let's talk about some random thing that happened at work. Like it's cool. It's a good time. It's just, again, hanging out with friends. So
exactly,
go check them out. They do good stuff. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go on a Sunday. Thank you again for hanging out, man. I hope you have a good week. Stay away from the spiders.
I had a great time. Thank you to everybody in the chat, everybody who's new and everything. Thanks for being here. I hope we got the YouTube stuff figured out and that goes through.
We did.
But yeah, man, thank you again. I hope we get to do this again sometime.
Hell yeah. Yeah. We got to talk music too.
Cool.
Because I want to learn about that. Okay. For the future,
coming back.
Things to do. All right,
we
folks.
Got lots of stuff.
Thank you so much for watching. Do all the things, the likes, the subscribes. Listen to this guy, what he said in the beginning, because he's a pro. I'm going to play some music and we're going to leave now. So bye, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Say anything weird. I'm hitting end. Stream is ending.